Welcome to Essential Webinar ESS C1 ProNODE ESS point-to-point configuration. Here the summary of this session. We will show the layout of our point-to-point configuration. We will explain each configuration steps. We will do this configuration step for device A and after for device B. And finally, we will do some tests and practice on the point-to-point create. We start with the layout of the network we want to create. The layout is a simple point-to-point connecting two devices, A devices and B devices. This point-to-point is capable to connect two different LAN and can be assumed like a cable. For our purpose, we are using a PC to configure two devices. It has this IP address. Okay, we start with the layer 1 configuration of the devices in order to configure each side of the network. So we will create a radio point-to-point with operational mode AH, so working at 5 GHz. The channel that will be used is 5.5 GHz. The SSID will be backbone, and the security VPA2, AES, PS key, and the PS key will be essential. On the radio 0 of the side A devices, we will create an access point, and on the radio 1 of the B devices, we will create a station. After this layer 1 configuration, we will create a bridge or switch logical interfaces connecting the Ethernet of each devices with the radio logical interfaces, and after that we will assign layer 3 an IP address from an agent to device A and device B. In this way, all the traffic that is arriving on this site is directly forwarded to the other Ethernet side. Configuration steps. In order to configure each part of our network, we need to follow these simple steps. With yellow label, we sign all the steps that concern layer 1, with green layer 2 and with orange layer 3. So the first part will be configure the physical interfaces we want to use. The second step will be the creation of the logical interfaces we want to use. And we pass to configure the logical interfaces we created. Of layer 1 configuration, so we will configure radio and security tabs. The following steps will be the creation of the logical interfaces, in that case the bridge or switch, and the last passage, layer 3, we will assign an address to this new layer 2 interfaces, bridge or switch, in order to access the devices for management. Now we will redo this configuration step for each device. We will start with device A configuration. We want to configure device A as reported in this layout. So first of all, we try to access device A that we assume that is reset to factory default, connecting my PC directly to the power over Ethernet of the FIS devices. So the Ethernet address of these FIS devices will be the default IP address. The credentials are admin default, and we can enter in the home page of the web server. Now we try to configure and follow the steps reported in this slide. So, first of all, layer 1 steps. A. Physical interfaces configuration. Devices in which we have all the physical interfaces. Wireless 0, it is our physical interface we want to use. And we open all the physical parameters we can set. Country code, we set Italy. Max distance, that is the distance of our link. We suggest to put it, to set this parameter 1 kilometer more than the real distance. So if only we have an 8 kilometer link, we suggest to set this parameter to 9. For our example, 1 kilometer is enough. Operational mode, AH, so is 5 GHz bandwidth. BG if we want to use 2.4 GHz, and A static turbo if we want to use 5 GHz bandwidth with 40 MHz canalization. AP specific parameter, so we can select the channel we want to use. In our example, we want to use the 5.5 GHz, operational mode AH. So this configuration. If we want to use additional channel, we can use set a different country code that can enable me to use a channel from 4.8 GHz till 6.1. For example, if I set this special country code, working always at 5 GHz, we can select a lot of different channels. Okay. We finish the A step, so the physical configuration. We click apply on this page to save to the web server the configuration. Now we pass to the step B, so always in layer 1, but the creation of the logical interfaces. Wireless. On the wireless 0 physical interfaces, I want to create a logical interfaces type access point, and I did the same of the physical, so 0. Create it, and I have created a new logical interface, ETH0. ETH0 type access point.